The Lord be with you. That poor frog. He was so lonely that he decided to go see a fortune teller. She told him not to worry. You're going to meet a beautiful young girl, and she will want to know everything about you. He said, That's great. When will I meet her? The fortune teller said, Next semester in biology class. Life has a way of going south in a hurry. And it is easy to start wondering, are we just the victims of fate, of random chance, of random events? Is there any point to the unfolding of our lives? Does life just happen to us while we are busy trying to live our lives? Certainly, the decisions others make can have a serious impact on our lives. A woman decided to have her portrait painted. She told the artist, Paint me with diamond rings, a huge diamond necklace, emerald bracelets, a ruby brooch, and a gold Rolex. But you are not wearing any of those things, the artist said. I know, she said. It's in case I should die before my husband. I'm sure he will remarry right away, and I want his new wife to go crazy looking for the jewelry. When the bishop decides it is time for me to move, he has just made a decision that uproots my entire life. When someone says that they don't want to be married anymore, they have just made a decision that will directly and significantly affect the lives of many around them. Life has just gone south in a hurry. But even when random events come our way, even when the decisions others make affect us, how we respond to them is still up to us. We don't have to go looking for the jewelry. Audrey Hepburn wrote a very poignant poem when she was asked to share her beauty tips. It was read at her funeral years later. For attractive lips, speak words of kindness. For lovely eyes, seek out the good in people. For a slim figure, share your food with the hungry. For beautiful hair, let a child run his or her fingers through it once a day. For poise, walk with the knowledge that you never walk alone. How we decide to meet life also affects how we will live life. A person who is filled with hope and determination will live life very differently from someone who feels like a victim and does not even try to overcome. The decisions others make affect us. How we decide to respond to whatever we encounter in life, that affects us too. But most of all, there is a heart at the center of the universe, not cold and empty, not cruel or driven by chance, but full of grace, merciful beyond all belief, and abounding in steadfast love. It is, of course, the heart of God. This is the message contained within the entire book of Ruth. Where you go, I will go. Your family will be my family. Your people will be my people. Your God will be my God. Behind everything, there is God's plan, which is filled with purpose and meaning and a great sense of accomplishment. And not like puppets manipulated on a cosmic stage with strings being pulled, but instead like kites on a string, With God's help, we are able to soar higher than we could ever soar on our own. With God's help. When I and many others before and since were ordained, we had to stand before the entire conference and answer a whole lot of questions. Most of the questions are of a spiritual nature. Some, however, are of a practical nature. Are you in any financial situation which might prove embarrassing to yourself or to the conference? That question gets laughter every year. We just finished seminary. Our student loan payments are now due. We are all in a financial situation at that point in our lives. But still, the answer remains the same. With God's help. In fact, almost all of the questions asked of us required that we say that. With God's help. Yes, we are affected by the lives around us and the decisions we have no part in making. Yes, we are affected by how we decide to face life each and every day. But greatest of all, we can be so deeply affected by the heart of God, the beat of which is love for us all. Joseph thought he would be a slave his entire life. God's heart raised him to be the prime minister of Egypt. David thought he was training to be a shepherd. God's heart was training him to be a king. It's exciting, isn't it? What does God's heart have planned for you? With God's help, may you discover God's plan from God's heart. With God's help. Amen.